ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नारायण परावेदा देवानारायणाङ्गजाः नारायण परालोका नारायण परामखाः नारायण परो योगो नारायण परन्तपः नारायण परज्ञानं नारायण परागतिः तस्मात् एकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येय पूज्यश्च नित्यदा। जयति जगति मायां यस्य कायाधवस्ते वचनरचनमेकं केवलं शाकलय्य ध्रुवपदमपि यातो यत्कृपातो ध्रुवोऽयं सकलकुशलपात्रं ब्रह्मपुत्रं नतास्मि। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. We are seeing Narada Bhakti Sutras and we have completed up to 63 sutras in the Narada Bhakti Sutras. And we are discussing, Sage Narada is telling about the para bhakti, its glories, its benefits, and how one has to attain this para bhakti. All these are being discussed in these few sutras. And in this sutra, that is Sutra 64, Sage Narada is telling about the obstacles, main obstacles, what we think as great, but what it leads to. All that is discussed in the next 2 or 3 sutras. Sutra 64, Abhimana Dambhatikam Tyajyah. Abhimana means pride. Too much we identify with our name and fame. And many people are very proud about their lifestyle, their being, etc. So that is Abhimana. And Damba is vanity. We may not have this, but we pose as if we are having it. So these two are the great obstacles for Parabhakti. It is obstacle for Bhakti itself, especially for Parabhakti. It has to be renounced. And many people do not know the right impact of it and they continue to practice it. Abhimana, that is pride, is one takes pride in whatever they do. And in today's social media era, it is very famous. They celebrate some festival and they get so much, they advertise it so much so that their name and fame will go up. So these are all the wrong identification. It is, many people celebrate the festival just for advertisement and just for competition. I have celebrated this in this grand way. You did not celebrate it. In my street, it is so big. And in your street, you did not make it so big. And in my family, it is so elaborately we celebrate this festival. But in all other families, they are not like this. Like this, they take too much pride in celebrating even the festivals. So for a true bhakta will not identify with all this. It is only another trick to attain worldly fame and recognition. And it is a kind of advertisement. So they celebrate it in a very grand way. Bhakti need not be in a very grand way. You can sit at home in the puja room itself and worship Bhagavan. And what Narada says is it is a hypocrisy in disguise because we are going away from Bhagavan when we do all this. Because when we do anything for pride and for name and fame, it just improves our rajasic nature. It won't lead us towards the God or towards the right path towards Bhagavan. Celebrating some festivals in a very, very elaborate way, calling many people and calling even the media. We see it all this in today's social media, isn't it? It's so common now in that. This is why I said in the social media era, it is very common. And if people do it one and only for advertisement and to show off their money or their richness. So all this keeps one away from Bhagavan. We celebrate all this to bring us close to Bhagavan. But when we do it only for pride and for advertisement and to show off, it will remove us or it will drag us more and more away from Bhagavan. So it has to be Tejyaha. And next is Dhampa. When we do not have that, we are not that much a bhakta, but we pose off as if I am a great bhakta by wearing certain clothes or dressing up in certain way. So like this, we take pride in it, so much of vanity, dhamba, acting as if we are a great bhakta or we are very close to that temple. That may be true, but that doesn't mean that we are close to Bhagavan. Being close, very much closely attached to a temple or giving a lot of money to the temple improvement or to the pujari does not make one close to Bhagavan, because Bhagavan doesn't need all this, isn't it? So it makes a person more and more miserable, and because of this ego only, they show this dambha as well as the abhimana. They take pride in whatever they do, one and only to boost of their ego. And they show off as a great person again to boost off their ego. So ego is just opposite to Bhagavan. So it separates us from Bhagavan, because when a bhakta, a true bhakta feels that he is one with Bhagavan, when he take that ego, I am doing it, myself is great, I am doing it, no one else can do like this, then it improves our ego and take us away from Bhagavan. So this has to be tejyaha. It all this causes unnecessary agitation in the mind. We have to do it for Bhagavan, not for ourselves. Just imagine how much long planning and how much of money has to be pumped and how much ought to be organized to celebrate such grand festivals in the name of God, or to do a great annadana in the name of God. So all this will boost our ego, boost our rajasic nature, and it will keep away from Bhagavan. Because after that festival, no one remembers about Bhagavan. Only for the next year, next festival only they will remember. So all this has to be Tyajyaha. Very strongly says Sage Narada. Because it will not help our spiritual evolution. It may help us in all other ways. For the worldly life, all these are very much needed. But for spiritual evolution, these are all the great obstacles. So a person interested in spiritual improvement has to renounce all this. That's what Sage Narada is telling. Because another point he's telling is, we have to celebrate all this, celebrate festival or do puja or do annadana to expiate our sins, not to show off our money or show our name, fame, to get more name and fame, or to evade income tax, not for all that. For expiating our sins so that our mind will become clear and we can go near Bhagavan. So when whatever is an obstacle for that has to be renounced. And the next sutra also says that Tadarpita Akilacharaka San Kama Krodhabi Manadika Tasminyeva Karaniyam. That is the 6 categories: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So all these 6 categories impels us to think. All our thoughts are based on this. Either it may be desire or krodha or greediness or damba, anything. Based on that only, all our thoughts are impelled by these 6 categories. So if we remove these 6 categories suddenly, then there will be no thoughts. It is not possible for an ordinary person, especially a beginner. So if these thoughts or all these 6 categories are removed, that is kama, krodha, mada, vatsarya, all these negative categories are removed, then there will be no thoughts, then there will be no mind. If there is no mind, then there is no bhakti. When we go to the stage of para bhakti, we do not need mind because we will merge in Bhagavan. But till then, we need the mind. So when we remove all this, there will be no mind and we cannot attain to that para bhakti state itself because, and it is all not possible also. Not at all possible for an ordinary person. We cannot control the mind all of a sudden. It will land us in very adverse situations. So instead of controlling it, we have to divert it to Bhagavan. Then gradually it can be controlled. Because when the bhakti improves, then automatically all this misunderstanding will go. What is true bhakti, we will understand it, and it will bring us more and more close to Bhagavan. So that's what Sage Narada says. So, what is the next thing? If we have all this, then we will go in the damba and the pride way only. Unnecessary desire for name, fame, pride in doing pujas and all that only. So, what to do? What Sage Narada is telling is we have to divert it towards Bhagavan. What? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, everything we have to divert it to Bhagavan. How is it possible? Kama, we must desire to worship Bhagavan. Krodha, when there is any obstacle, we must be angry with ourselves that we, in spite of that obstacle, why have I not done this puja like this? We must be angry with ourselves, not with others. When we get angry with others, then it is rajasic nature. But when we compare ourselves, when we have angry with ourselves, then it is not rajasic nature. It will improve, boost our bhakti. So, like this, each and everything, whether it is lobha, greediness, we have to desire more. We have to worship more and more, or do that practice. Decide to more practice, bhakti practice. Then, if it is pride, damba, we must take pride in ourselves, not with compare it with others. We must take pride in ourselves and enjoy Bhagavan. Mother, arrogance. We must be arrogant to do practice, whatever situation it may be. So that is mother. Matsarya, competitiveness, just to compete with ourselves. How we practiced bhakti last month, comparing to this month. So, like this, each and everything we have to think about it. Each and everything we have to do with ourselves, with our practice of bhakti. Then it will boost our bhakti and it will very soon we can reach the stage of para bhakti. Instead, if we show all this to the world, worldly activities, then it will drag us down. It will drag our practice of bhakti and it will make us to be separate from Bhagavan. It will drag us far away from Bhagavan. So what Sage Narada is telling is all this is to be directed towards Bhagavan. All these negative traits in the mind has to be directed towards Bhagavan and not towards the worldly life. Even the people who are celebrating this grand festivals, they are competing it with the outside world or how grandly I celebrated last year comparing to this year. That will make them more and more rajasic. But instead, if they concentrate on the practice inside them, then it will make them more and more reach the stage of para bhakti. So that is discussed in this sutra.